Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Dungeon Universalis. Now, in the last video I introduced our characters and I've seen something funny actually, that the fact that she is a witch hunter and the dream of her life is to become a witch. And I just didn't realize this at the beginning, but she always hung out with the witches and learned beginner magic kind of, and she wants the title Queen of Witches, and she's hanging around with a witch huntress. So yeah, that's a little odd, but it also is funny. You might imagine that she's calling her, don't become a witch, do something reasonable with your life. You can still become a lawyer or a doctor. And so there's a little potential for tension inside the group, I guess. Apart from that, what we're going to have to do is now, so we played the first mission, and well, kind of a little skirmish there, but we did that successfully, and now we are in this town here of Verneck. And one thing I forgot is when you start a campaign, you have to choose in which month of the year you want to start the campaign, or in which week you want to do that. So the thing is, the first 12 weeks of a year are winter, and traveling through the continent during the winter is a little more dangerous. You might suffer from the difficult weather conditions in specific areas, for example in mountain areas, that I also think in these glacial areas here, and therefore I want to start right after the winter, obviously. So we're going to start in week 13. So that was, I think, the first skirmish. And now that week is kind of over, I guess. And now we're entering week 14. Okay, so I got to write that down somewhere. So now we're in the city, and at the beginning of a campaign turn, or that's not quite true. We could now travel here on the map. We don't have to do the second mission that is suggested to us by the story in the book. We don't have to do that immediately. Technically, we could simply move here somewhere else, I don't know, to other locations, and visit some specific places there if we wanted to do that. Or if there would be some alternate unlocked adventures, we could also go there, but right now that's not the case. But I want to stay here in Verneck, basically follow the storyline that is given to us. So whenever you stay in a settlement, like we want to do now, or when you leave a settlement and enter a specific territory, when you enter a new territory, when you enter a navigable river, and so on. So basically, whenever you spend time in a specific area, you're going to have to roll a so-called event die. And take a look here. Whenever, for that specific type of location, whenever you roll the applicable number, then you're going to see an event. So right now, because we stay in the city, we're going to have to roll a die here, and on a 3+, there'll be a specific travel event. So, okay, we have a 4. So let's see what we got. Okay, that says a mysterious shopkeeper. Walking around the city, an old shabby shop attracts your attention. The shopkeeper is a mysterious leprechaun who shows you a very special object among many quirky ones. Choose a random magic object card. Oh. One of you must pass an intelligence test. If he fails, he will be obliged to buy it if the group has enough money to do so, but at twice the usual cost. The leprechaun will not sell the object in any other way. When you leave the place and turn to look at the shop again, the entrance is gone. Okay, so this is funny. So basically, we could buy the object, but only if you fail the test. That's pretty cool. I like that. That is pretty awesome. So, but it says I can first choose the card, and then I can choose someone who has to pass the test. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle the cards first. So let's draw the top card, and let's see what that is. So this is the Book of the Dead. Okay, we don't have the money to buy that anyway. It's $40. So we don't have $80. So we cannot even read what that is. Just take a quick look at the book and say, okay, I cannot afford that thing. So I'm not allowed to open it, which is my own idea. And I think that in this case, yeah, I'm not going to get the book. Okay, so after this travel event, we have now the option, and I'm not sure, it doesn't say in the rules if you shuffle it back in or if you place it underneath. So I think what I'm going to do is, I might want to place it underneath for now, and then maybe when I'm half through the deck or something like that, I'm not sure what to do. I'm gonna shuffle the whole thing, even that. But on the other hand, it will take a while until I'm half through that deck, I guess. And if you then put the game back, and I don't know, it becomes a little complicated because you also have to remember what was already shuffled and what not. And so I guess if I simply set up the game again, even if it's just, I don't know, after the next 2 adventures or so, if I put the game aside and then set it up again, I'm going to reshuffle the thing anyway. Okay, so now we have the option to visit these shops and or these locations that are indicated here on the map. Now, every hero may visit up to 3 locations. They don't have to do it together or something, but every hero has to visit or may visit up to 3. So just want to show you quickly what we have here so that you get an idea. We have an inn, and that allows us basically to do a recovery. So we could heal our lost vitality, the mana, and the fortune points. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And we could buy some basic stuff like pack of provisions, a torch, and stuff like that. So there's a treasurer. We could leave our treasures at this guy for a small fee. King's or governor's quarters. So we could simply go there, and there is the option to get that we can get a quest there. So yeah, there's a special quest in this area here, and that could be unlocked when we go to this guy. We have to roll a die and see what happens. There's a lender, and he takes a ridiculous interest of 150%. So I think we're not going to go there. There's a market where we can also buy some basic objects, and I think I might want to go there and maybe buy 1 or 2 daggers for her. So this is interesting. Physician, well, I guess we can heal there and buy some basic healing herbs and healing potions. A tavern, you go in there, roll a die, and some stuff can happen, and you can also buy some basic objects. And stables, and there you can buy horses. Okay, so I want to only visit 2 places here. So first I want to visit the market, and I'm interested in buying a dagger, maybe even 2 of them, but I don't know, 1 or 2. Yeah, I might consider buying even 2 daggers. So I could throw them, because yeah, I'm mainly allowed to, as a witch hunter, throwing weapons. I'm very restricted when it comes to ranged weapons. I don't really have a close combat weapon, a melee weapon. I would love to have one, but there isn't a way to really get a good one here. So a dagger will do, and yeah, let's see, maybe I think I'm going to buy 1. Okay, so you can see the dagger did cost $1 here on the right, and I paid for that, and that's it. And yeah, I think that's good enough. And now the Malice, our sorceress, she will visit the inn because she needs to refresh her mana. And the fortune points would be okay. I mean, if I only had spent the fortune points, the 2 fortune points, I would not go to the inn. I think I can survive the next adventure with 4 fortune points only. But I want my full mana. That is really important for me. So therefore, I'm going to have to spend 2 coins for the recovery, and then I can regain my these resources here. So because we share the same money, I'm going to simply take it from here, and then I regain my 8 mana points. So there we go, and also these 2 fortune points that I spent. Okay. Now this action though comes for a price. Whenever you enter the inn, whenever one hero enters the inn, then the dark player has the option to roll dice. And the number of dice he can roll, I think it is divided by the value points of the heroes. The value points of the heroes divided by 10. I think that is the number of the dice the dark player can roll. I'm going to check that again. So for every 6 the dark player rolls now, he could place a danger marker in his starting location. So let's see. Okay, that is 1/6. So he's allowed now to take one of these markers, and his starting location is this ban more here. So we're going to place it here, And now when we travel the next time, this guy, the dark player, can move, or will move the danger marker toward us. If it's an artificial dark player, he has to move it in a straight, in the shortest possible way toward us. And if it ever reaches us, we're gonna have to draw one of these specific danger cards here for the dark player, and we have to resolve it. So there can be quite a number of markers here on the board. The maximum number is 10. And here's the thing, maybe one of you knows that. What happens with these markers once you resolve such a card? Is the marker removed from the board? Or does it simply stay on the board and you have then constantly for the rest of the game these 10 markers following you on the board? Yeah, I don't know about that. It's not written in the rules, so I'm not even sure if it makes such a terrible difference. Maybe a little bit, but I think the markers will be replenished pretty soon anyway. But we'll see. Yeah, if you got an idea about that, please let me know. Okay, so that was this refreshment at the inn, and now I'm pretty much ready to go and to start my my adventure, but I want to check where that exactly is. Is it in Verneck itself, or is it somewhere adjacent so that we have to travel? Just let me find out about that. So, oh god, I'm gonna look at the campaign book, and there on the first page right here it is written that is number 2. Now it's, oh boy, I don't know actually. Now honestly I think it's adjacent. I think it's not inside Verneck. Maybe even Adventure 1 would have been adjacent. That is not quite clear. Huh, that's tough to see. Kind of sucks. I don't know. Or is it inside? Oh boy. That is really hard to see. It looks adjacent, but what would mean that if it's inside, it's probably not exactly on top of it? Maybe number 14 or what that is, or 34, the blue one, could be adjacent. And maybe the yellow one is actually inside. I don't know. Okay, honestly, I think it is a little bit away. I'm not sure, but I think it's a little bit away. If you take a look, this one, for example, where was it? The one up here, the 41, for example, or maybe also the 12. They seem to be really adjacent to the city. But this one down here seems to be a little bit away. And maybe also the 1. Maybe we should have rolled for the 1. Okay, anyway, so let's roll the die here. And this is, I don't know, is that plains or something? Oh god, this is a little tricky. Or is it, it seemed to be even north. So maybe it's in the woods. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not in the southern area. That's in the north. So it's in the woods, I guess. Okay, let's find the woods cards. Okay, so you can see on a 5+, there's going to be an event here. Yeah, so it's a 6, so let's see what we get. Wolves. You've been hearing howls for days. However, they're really close now. You can hear the wolves' steps on the litterfall. All characters must pass a movement test. Those who fail aren't able to escape in time and suffer 3 damage dice. Before rolling dice, you can spend a Greek fire or torch to avoid this event. Epic event, play the quest Wolves. Okay, so now we have two choices. We could either play the epic event, or we could do the text of the card. We could resolve the text of the card. Now, the advantage if we play the epic event is, well, on the one hand it could be cool, on the other hand we could simply get additional experience, which is nice. On the other hand, the thing is, it will take us probably quite some time and we might end up with a couple of wounds. But you know, I think I'm actually going to do the epic event here. Okay, so we're going to set up the epic event Wolves and see what happens. Okay, so here's the scenario. Our heroes are here, and we have 3 wolves, one here, another one back here, and one over here. So the goal is, within 6 turns, we got to reach, I think all the heroes have to reach one of these spaces here. So we don't have to kill all the wolves or anything, we just have to make it within 6 turns to one of these spaces. Now there are a couple of special rules here. Obviously, again, this is just a skirmish scenario, so many of the interesting rules of the dark player do not apply. There are no obstacles, no traps. And one thing though, if we at the start of each dark player's turn, we got to roll a die, and if we roll a number equal or less, no, that's not true. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think that is correct. If we roll a number equal or less than the heroes, so 3 or less, then another wolf will spawn, but up to a maximum of 4. In addition, this whole board is difficult terrain for the heroes, not for the wolves, because they have a pathfinder ability in the forest, so they can ignore the difficult terrain. But for the heroes, it's all difficult terrain, which means whenever they enter a new space, they have to pay an extra movement point, and in addition, the whole fighting abilities, so all the combat abilities, the melee fighting, the shooting, and also the magic, have a -1 modifier. Yeah, so these are pretty much all the special rules here. So in general, I think this is not a big deal, but there is one problem with this, and that is, if we spend too many of the resources, of the limited resources, like the fortune points, or, and that is much more important, the mana points, then we possibly have to go back to the inn and recover there. So that's the issue here. I cannot really use her as a sorceress. Maybe I can do 1 or maybe 2 spells, but that's it. Simply because otherwise I'm afraid that I will simply have not enough mana left for the following quest. So I gotta find a solution for that. Okay, so before we started that, I gave the elf the mace, and the dwarf only has an axe. But I want to have I already have the daggers, but I think the mace is a little better because it reduces armor. So I want to have a melee weapon for her, because the crossbow and the handgun have to be reloaded, which takes an action. So she could not fight for a whole turn. And there are not that many turns, so I got a feeling that I better prepare for some melee action here. So, okay, I think first we have to do an initiative roll. So we got to check who is allowed to start the combat. So what we do is we do an opposed roll against perception. The wolves have a perception of 1, this here. The elf, and I can choose which of my guys does it, has the hunter and the sharp senses, with give both a perception +1, and also the owl. So I got a perception of +3 overall. So now simply roll. Well, that was very bad. Okay, so that means already bad start for us. Yeah, the wolves can start. That sucks. It really does. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. First, at the start of the dark player's turn, we have to roll if another wolf will spawn. And that is not the case. A 3 or less, equal or less than 3, would have spawned a new creature. So then, let's see. Let's check first the target selection. Okay, so first the enemies that have not been attacked, and then the one specified by the behavior card. So let's check. Let's find the behavior card. These here, and there are different ones. The ranged fighter, melee fighter. Well, but we have an animal here. There we go. Animals and vermin. So at the beginning of its activation, if wounded and with enemies of the same or larger size in line of sight, must perform a courage test. If failed, it will move as far away from them as possible. Then we have the target priority. Enemy with the lowest life points. Okay, so that is going to be one of the ladies. The second one is then the enemy with the lowest armor. So the wolf will go after the wizard or the sorceress. Okay. Oh, and we got to ignore the equal distribution of attacks. Now that makes it tricky, That means that they will always try to attack her. That's interesting. Okay, so let's see. They got a movement value of 8. That's a lot. So he might even be able to attack from behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can do that, which is not a good thing. So he can attack from behind. Runs around just like this. And then attacks. And that means he's got a combat value of 3. And I can at least hold my staff with 2, but that doesn't make a big difference right now. I got a combat value of 4, but because I'm attacked from behind, there'll be a negative modifier of -1. In addition to that, we're on difficult terrain, so it's another -1, so I got a negative modifier of -2 already. And yeah, this is looking bad already. Okay, not good at all. We lost that combat roll. So it seems we simply have to take the damage here. And he has fangs. So 3 damage dice. We have nothing to avoid that. So we have, we have an armor of 3. So we take 2 hits. Okay, that's bad. That is a bad start immediately. Okay, not good. And we might actually get attacked, maybe even by a second wolf, but that's not so easy. He cannot reach us, I guess. Yeah, this guy now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, he cannot move past the dwarf. And he can also not reach her because he cannot move diagonally here because there is this obstacle here. So I'm pretty sure he can only reach the dwarf then. That's not quite true. He can enter this zone and can simply attack her then. So I think that's what we're going to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the problem is I cannot do a defensive shot. Well, I don't know. Maybe I can. But I think the defensive shot happens when the beast is 3 spaces away. But I think it's not in line of sight here. Because here's an obstacle. So it comes close. And it goes here. And it attacks, I guess, the elf. The problem is the elf has a crossbow in his hand, and when he defends with that, he's basically unarmed. So that's a -1. He's in heavy terrain or in bad terrain. That's another -1. So we also have a -2 modifier here for the elf. And so we'll see. It's not looking good at all. Okay, but this time we were actually lucky. So I have 8 against 7. So this time I don't take any damage. Lucky for me here. Okay. And then this guy will activate. And he's far away, so he's going to run. So we're going to roll 2 dice here. And that's not a blunder, so he's simply going to run, and he can run 16 spaces, which is nearly right to us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I guess he moves here. Oh boy, that's not good. And yeah, so Now it's our turn, and that wasn't the best start, but okay, I mean, in the end, only she took a wound, but it still kind of sucks. So let's see what we can do now. So I think I got two interesting options here. I could either draw a dagger, when I'm adjacent to an enemy, I get no attack penalty when I draw this thing. So in this case I could do it. That's a special thing for the dagger. But then I got still a -1 penalty here and a -1 penalty for the terrain. So I would have a -2 penalty, which is obviously pretty bad. So the other option is I could try to disengage. And that would mean I have to pass an agility test, which is not so hard for me. I have an agility of 5. And then I can move away from this guy and try to shoot this wolf here with my crossbow. So I think that might be actually what I want to do. It seems like a more reasonable thing to do. So yeah, let's try to give this a go here. So I'm gonna have to do an agility test here. Oh boy, I just made it with a 6. I was lucky here. So I could disengage, and that allows me now to move out of the combat zone with this, which is simply every adjacent space of a creature. So I can move out of this zone, can move in here, and I don't know, I can move around the owl. I don't want to shoot my owl by accident, for example. And now I can shoot this wolf here with my crossbow. Okay, now I got a -1 again for the terrain penalty for shooting, and I got a -1 because I moved. So that means I got also a -2 penalty, but I got a pretty good shooting value of 5. I mean, if things are really getting out of control, I have to spend fortune, and then we're gonna go back to the inn, and you know, I don't want to take too many risks here. So yeah, let's roll the die. Okay, that's a 7, and that is exactly what I needed, I think. Yeah. So that means I hit the guy. It does 4 damage, and we got a -1 to armor. So I gotta be lucky, but there is a chance that I can kill him. So we got these 4 dice. God. Okay, so he's got an armor of 2 now. Okay, yeah, great, I did it. I killed the guy, very, very good. That is, yeah, that was awesome. Sadly, the crossbow is fired, so I gotta reload it. Maybe in the next turn. Okay. So now it's the dwarf, and he's gonna attack the wolf with his axe. But yeah, it's tough. Got a -2 on his combat strength. But the wolf also only has a 3, so in this case it's not so hard. Simply the high roller will win the battle. And that was not the dwarf. Oh boy. Okay, and what I should have done that a little differently. I'm gonna do the war dance with her. That gives me a +1 if I'm successful. So I'm gonna do that spell. I'm gonna roll 2 dice. We got a -1 on casting spells. Okay, that was a success. And I rolled a 6 and a 4. Now the good thing is This is a permanent spell, the War Dance. All friendly characters within the spell's area of effect get a +1 to their combat skill and courage. So these are all my characters. And I will spend 1 mana, because that's the cost. And because I rolled a 6 and a 4, when you cast a permanent spell, then the spell will prevail as long as the higher number on the dice shows. So this will now be effective for 6 turns, and every turn we can basically reduce the number here. So that was pretty good. For the rest of the scenario, this spell, or at least until, yeah, the scenario might take longer, but if we want to win the scenario, then we should do it in 6 turns. Okay, so we got a +1 modifier now, which means we can basically now all ignore these -1 terrain modifications for the cast, for the fighting values. Apart from that, I don't see many options right now for her. I could move back. I could move, but I cannot move across his melee zone, I guess. I gotta check that. Maybe I could. I gotta check that. So here's the thing. Actually, characters can ignore the melee zone of an enemy as long as they are adjacent to, as the enemy is adjacent to another ally, which is the same size or larger than the enemy. So the agility test was actually not necessary. I could have simply moved out of here because the dwarf kept the wolf busy. And I could now also simply move across here if I wanted to do that, because of the same reason. However, that also means that the wolf here could also move past the dwarf and attack me, and I'm his primary target. So therefore, that's probably a pretty bad idea. I might consider somehow moving away. I'm already in a pretty bad shape. So the wolf will be able to move 8 spaces. So, okay, here's an obstacle. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can move here. So I got to move at least 1 space back. So then you cannot reach me. Now what's important is you cannot run and then attack. And you cannot even enter an enemy's melee zone when you're running. So there's no way he could reach me now. But yeah, this is all a little bit difficult here. It's not as easy as I thought. Okay, so especially if there are new guys spawning here. I don't know what we do then. So the next turn starts, and we roll again a die for the dark player if there will be a new enemy. And that is indeed the case. Oh boy. Okay, so we have a new guy coming up here. They enter the game from here. And the question is now, is he allowed to move immediately or not? Gotta check that. So yeah, indeed, I'm going to be activated, or this guy will be activated immediately. That is really not good. Because he will also attack again the wizard. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can also do it from behind. Great. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, Although that's not, no, because here is already, that's tricky. Well, but he's facing in this direction, let's be honest here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, he is attacking from behind. That's not good at all. Again, we got to roll. And we'll see. Okay, this time I was doing very well, actually. And now it's the wolf and the dwarf who are fighting. Okay, that's not good. That's a win for the wolf. And he has a critical, which means it's one more damage die for him. So let's see. He does 3 damage, so it's 4 damage. Oh boy. But we have a really high armor. We got an armor of 5. So let's hope it's not going to be too bad. Okay, no damage here. Very good. And now this guy is coming, and it's a 1, oh no, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I guess he will then also attack. Ah, yeah, of course. He's going to attack me then, because he cannot reach her. So he's also going to try to attack the dwarf then. So again, we got to roll. And again the wolf wins the attack with a critical. And this time he does 1 damage. However, we've got the tough, but that doesn't help us in this case. No. So it seems like we take a wound. Oh boy. Okay, I think we should prepare for our return to the inn. Because it seems we have to, I'm pretty sure we have to yeah, really take some stronger measures here. I don't think we can handle these guys without using some serious magic. Okay, so it's again my turn, and well, I guess in a similar way we're going to try to just kill the wolf that attacks her by using one of these weapons here. So we're gonna exchange that with a handgun during a quick action. Now, this is still unloaded though, and then I'm gonna move 1 space to the side so that I get a clear view on the wolf. Otherwise she would have blocked line of sight. And I'm gonna try to shoot here. Now maybe the wolf has an agility of 4. Now I got 5, so there is also no penalty. I mean, I could, wait a minute, can I attack from behind? Yeah, but then I have to move quite a way, and I would, yeah, okay, no, I'm fine like that. So let's see. Oh boy. That's a 4. That's not good enough. You know, screw it, I'm gonna start burning my fortune points. I cannot afford to... No, we're gonna go back to the inn. Okay, so let's see. Okay, this time I do a hit, and it is even a critical. So that means we can roll... let's see. We can roll 4 dice, and it's a -1 to the armor of the wolf, so he only has an armor of 2. Okay, that was very successful. So the guy is dead. And yeah, now we gotta see it's the dwarf again fighting one of the other 2 wolves now. So let's see. Okay, this is looking good. There's no doubt he wins that. He's got a 6 and a 5, so that means he also does a critical damage. And that means he has his strength, which is 4 plus 2, because it's an additional. So he has 6 dice. And finally it looks like it should be easier to handle that. So he's got 6 dice, and in addition we can subtract 1 from the user's armor. So I guess we can definitely kill one of the wolves. Yeah, so that was pretty easy. So we basically decapitated this guy. That was very successful. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really not sure. I mean, so that was his action. Now I could, with her, I could use another spell, the brain damage. And that gives me good odds that I can kill the other wolf, and then maybe we can still make it. You know, I think I'm actually gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do the brain damage spell on that other wolf. Otherwise, this is, I mean, I was thinking about running this way maybe, and trying to get toward the exit with her. But the problem is, if another wolf enters from here, I'm in quite a lot of trouble, you know. He could reach me if I run like this, and then the other wolf comes from here. I'm in a ton of trouble, so I don't really think that is such a great idea. And we can get a little closer so that you get a better impression here. So the idea was to run like this, go here or something, but then from here, it's not a good thing. So I guess, yeah, I guess I'm going to use that spell, and probably we have to go back to the inn and yeah, have a break there. I don't know, it really sucks. It really does. So let's cast that spell. And I think this should be by now here. Oh boy, this is horrible. Screw it, I'm gonna use another fortune. And, well, actually, I don't have to do that. I'm an experienced wizard. That allows me to re-roll failed intelligence rolls when casting spells once per quest. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, this time it was a success, and it was actually a critical. So that means we can take now 5 dice. Every result equal to or greater than the target's intelligence deals 1 damage. Now, one thing, I think I made a mistake recently. In the last video, this guy has an intelligence of 1, but it's not an automatic kill because a roll of 1 never deals damage. So therefore, we need at least a 2 to really kill these guys. So, but we got 5 dice and... Okay, so we did it. So that wolf is now also dead. And now I can move. Yeah, I mean, still it's a tricky situation. I think I'm gonna move right now only here. Maybe even here. So in this way, the wolves cannot reach me. It's not going to be possible if I'm standing here. Okay, cool. So this is it for this turn. Let's go into the next one. Okay, so let's roll for the dark player, and if he rolls a 1 to 3, it sucks. And he doesn't. Very, very good. So no more wolves in this turn. And that is really cool, because now we can simply try to run and hope we can get as far as possible. So we start with the dwarf. Okay, that's a 6. So that means the dwarf can overall run 10 movement points. That's not so much. That's only 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck. I'm not sure. I think I might want to go here and maybe turn around just in case from there additional people come. So you can change the facing basically whenever you move to another space for free. And then it's gonna be the elf. I think I want to move the wizard first. Okay, that's a 10, so she can also move overall, because her movement is also 5, so she can also move 10 spaces. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not so much. Holy shit. That really sucks. Well, but okay. Let's move the owl. I don't want to forget the owl. Basically, I mean, she can fly 12 spaces, so she can just move ahead. And then it's her, the elf. Okay, that's a 5, so she can move also 5 spaces basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna go here. So he's gonna attack her then. Ah, boy. Okay, that is not too great overall. But I don't know what else to do. So let's see. Let's see if another wolf comes up. No. Awesome. So maybe now things are really looking good. And this time I want to start again with the wizard. And this is now, I think, already the 3rd turn, if I'm not missing things here. Okay, she... Oh, shit. That is only a 3. That's not good. So she can move only 8 movement points, so only 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here's the thing. We're not going to make it anymore. It's not going to work out. We were simply too slow. Even if she runs now, she cannot reach these spaces within 2 turns. It's not going to happen anymore. So, yeah, kind of sucks. That's really a tough scenario. Yeah, it's really, I mean, wow, that was tough. And, okay, anyway, at least we can survive and gotta go back to the inn, I guess. I mean, maybe we can try it. She's not in such a terrible shape now. She has still 7... No, actually, I used that one. But she is still 6 mana, which isn't bad. She can heal. And this guy only has 1 single life point lost. So maybe we can actually try the following... the following adventure. It just depends on how things are going now. So then it's her, and well, is she running or not? I mean, she might even consider reloading to get a defensive shot, because we cannot make it in time anyway. So, you know, actually, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to reload my crossbow, And then I only have the option to, I cannot run anymore, I can only move a couple of spaces. But still, I'm going to move now 1, 2, I think I can only move 2 spaces, actually. Yeah, I can only move 2 spaces. So I guess I'm going to move here and also turn around. And if a new wolf comes up, I can shoot him immediately. And the dwarf can still move, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. Okay, that's a 7, so he can move 5 spaces. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he also turns around. He could have still done it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The dwarf could have still done it, but I think every hero must reach one of these spaces, and she couldn't have done it. I mean, otherwise, I'm not even sure if she could have. Probably not. So we get into the next turn. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I think... Do we have one more turn? So wait a minute, we started here. No, I think that... Ah, damn it. I think we don't. The first turn we did nothing, then we moved it down. First, no, this is here on 1, and it's over, then I think it's over. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if this... Well, it doesn't spawn again, so we were actually really lucky. And that means now that we can continue running. So the wizard... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, I'm going to move here. The dwarf. Okay. So it also turns around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Going to do it like this. Going to move around this obstacle here. And in the end, the elf. Oh, damn. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. She can only move 4 spaces because of that poor running roll here. Let's roll again. Okay, this time we see a new wolf coming up from here, and he moves 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I can take a defensive shot. If he is coming to attack me, and when he comes to the space which is 3 spaces away from me, I'm allowed to do a defensive shot, and I'm going to do that. And so let's hope this works out. So defensive shot basically gives me a -2 modifier, but that's it. There are no other modifiers here. So let's see. Okay, that is very good. That's a hit because my shooting skill is 5. So that means I do even a critical with the crossbow. So I can roll 5 dice. And I can subtract 1 from his armor. And I killed him. Awesome. There we go. Okay, so it's my turn again, and let's go with the wizard first. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks good for her. And then it's the elf. She's pretty behind, but oh boy, that's just 4. Oh boy. Okay, so she can only move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it seems like she might be saved. And then it's the dwarf. And okay, I think I'm not too eager to. Let's see. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move 2 spaces, just in case something goes wrong and she cannot. I don't know. There's someone pursuing her or so. I I want to be able to protect her maybe the next turn. Although I don't think it's going to be necessary, but we'll see. So, okay, I think this is actually now down to maybe one turn. I think it's over, actually. Okay, now this is it. We didn't make it, but we have to play the scenario to the end. It's not totally over yet. So, okay, again, we were lucky. No new wolf spawns, and now we can really bring it to an end. Okay, that is her 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the thing is, it's impossible. No wolf can reach us anymore, so we can basically move out. Everybody can. I mean, it's not. If she stumbles, maybe it's gonna be close. We'll see. So he moves. I don't know. I'm going to move him here, and I'm going to move her out. So she is here. She's away. And now, let's see if the wolf. Okay, there's no more wolves. so okay. Otherwise, if she would have stumbled, maybe if a wolf would have appeared now, he might have been able to reach her. But I don't think so, actually. So now the dwarves simply leaves the area. And oops, and she runs. Okay, and she can also now simply move out. Okay. Oh, the owl. Holy crap. There we go. So overall, that wasn't too great. Still, I think we're in a position where we can continue the adventure. We've spent 2 mana points, which is not good, but at least we'll be able to activate these quests again. The limitation for how often you can how often you can activate these spells, I think that is only for quests and not for the time between stays in the inn. So we've lost the 2 mana, which sucks. But they go basically away now. So I still can use now all my spells up to 2 times. But of course I don't have enough mana to do that. But still, I got 6 mana. That's not bad. That is okay. I also got a couple of fortune points left here. So, did I? I spent some fortune points somewhere, didn't I? That's odd. Actually, she spent a fortune point, but that's okay. And then if I drink I can drink the healing herbs or eat them, and then I might get rid of these wounds. And I think for him it's not that terrible. And we also have healing herbs here. So I think it's okay. We can continue the adventure. I don't want to go back to the inn and then back again. Who knows what kind of crap can happen. So I think that's okay. And you can see, I mean, even the fight against a couple of wolves can be pretty brutal in this game. It's not, I mean, it's not like, okay, we were really in serious danger to die. But even, I mean, for a moment, maybe she was, you know. She was lucky that I think at least one attack against her failed. If that would not have been the case, she could have easily taken 2 more wounds. And then the only way to prevent the knockout would have been by spending fortune. So therefore, yeah, this is a tough game. So after this unfortunate incident, and by the way, I think we're not going to get anything for it. We don't even get the points here. That's kind of the problem. Let's see. Damn it. There we go. No. We don't get an experience point. However, because we failed the mission, the dark player is allowed to spawn an additional a dark player token on the map of the campaign. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna load this up here, and I hope next time we will get to the bandits hideout, and yeah, hope to see you then. Bye.